It's sort of a mystery, but not untold. Sever ties and unbind, settle dust and we see, but won't behold.
I'm Aaron Hallett. I write original Christian rock. I just sat down and tuned this thing. I went for my acoustic today. All right, so I write original Christian rock, and as far as the original part, I just make stuff up. So I don't really know what I'm going to do too much. When I sit down, I'm just like, hey, here I am, and here's something. Today, I did put in a 5-second melody idea that popped into my head, so I've got that going, but other than that, not much. So just opened up Logic, put my mic in front of me, have this tuned, and here we are. All right, so I've got a template that I just keep evolving as I go. So I've got a drum loop up here. I'm going to use that in place of a metronome because that kind of sucks versus drums. Go G to lead in, and then maybe like an A minor C G for a chorus. All right, I think that's it. I also want to mention, I was talking to a friend who I haven't talked to in quite a long time. He just got in contact with me because he was thinking about doing music again. I was basically asked if I wanted to do some kind of, I don't even know what it was, maybe collaboration, maybe just record stuff. I'm not even sure exactly, but I got a lot going here, and I do so much during the day. I don't really want to add a bunch of extra stuff. So I was like, I'm going to pass. If you lived like next door, that might be a different story, but it's kind of like a long distance thing and other stuff. So I was like, nah. I did mention, because I think a lot of people are unaware of this, if you're just a singer and you write songs or something like that, you can get really cheap things and just kind of jump into recording. I've got a big computer here, but you just need like an like a MacBook, little laptop looking thing, scan disk, like flash drive for memory if it needs a little bit more. You can get an audio interface, which is what allows you to plug microphones or instruments into your computer. So just get a USB-C audio interface. You can get a PreSonus tiny little thing for like $79.99 last time I looked. That would allow you to plug in a MIDI keyboard, which is what I have here. So this doesn't have anything software, no sounds on its own. It plugs into the computer and just controls the MIDI instruments that come into the recording software. So if you get that little laptop and you have GarageBand, which should come with the computer, you could plug this in and play MIDI instruments on here. If I was to just set up a piano track, currently I've got guitar tracks. So pretend this is piano. You just play this keyboard and get the chords to come out. What you can do in Logic is this drummer track I've got here will follow your music, and you can make a bass player track. So if I hit new track here, I got drummer, bass player, and keyboard player. I can write in what chords I want this thing to play, what speed I want it to play, and it'll just do it. So if you're like, hey, I got a song, I'm playing GFA on this keyboard, just write in GFA, have this thing play it for you, and then you can just record your vocals. So you can kind of jump in and start doing your own thing. There's videos on that are way better than what I'm doing here. I don't feel like screen capping or doing any of that stuff, but just mentioning it. If you get just a little MIDI controller, this thing, a vocal mic, mine is an Audio Technica that was like not much money. I say it was about $50, although I probably bought it like 15, 20 years ago. So I'm sure it's more like 100 something. Still, it's a super cheap condenser vocal mic, and I use it for voice and guitar, and it doesn't do a bad job at all. You can get very minimalistic and end up with a good sound. All right, little thing over. Let's see, I gotta set the tempo. Yeah, I don't use any of those drummer, bass player, piano things that often because I can actually do those myself. So why wanted I? But if you're in a hurry, you want to just get some idea down quick, or you don't know how to play those instruments and you've got no one around that can do it for you, this will do it. All right, I'm going to do some stuff, mainly chorus. I doubt I'm going to do anything in the verse, but I'm going to hit record and just go for it. Right along, I'm going to delete some extra unused tracks, and then I'm going to track my guitar solo. All right, bass guitar. So just to show how I would do this from earlier when I was talking about how I was mentioning, like, I had a friend of mine kind of asking about recording, and I was saying, you know, you could look into this stuff because if you can do it yourself, it's a lot better, and then you don't have to rely on anyone else to, like, put something together and have a song. Okay, so if I hit plus here, I can go to drummer, bass player, keyboard player. I'm just going to choose keyboard player, stereo out, and then I've got a little thing here. I can select, like, say the range, like where I want the hand position to be, what I want the left hand to be doing, root only, root and octave, root fifth octave, sustain, full chord, broken chords, different voicings, movement minimal to large range. And then here I can hit follow either the chord rhythm, or I can follow, say, let me see, acoustic. Set the key. The key is actually correct up here. You got to make sure the key is right. Otherwise it's going to sound a little like trash. Can add some fills where they just do little extra things, grace notes, feel, a little rushing, a little, you know, slow, that kind of thing. Dynamics humanized so it's not absolutely perfect and it'll sound like a person played it. And then, so I've got that going. I can also go up here and you got different things, tempo, signature, marker, chord. So I could, like, put in, what's my first chord? C. Copy paste it now for the duration of the verse, and now I've got a piano accompaniment. So that's the kind of stuff, if, you know, I was songwriting, I had figured out, okay, I think he's got a little keyboard, clearly, because he sent me a recording. It was just like an audio from the phone recording, but he was playing some kind of keyboard. So you could play the chords in here, figure out what they are, write them up here, and then have the piano accompaniment thing play them for you, much better than, you know, someone who's not a piano player could do. And if I don't want piano, I can just go over here to the track and select all sorts of things. If I want this to be a string section instead, I can do that. So yeah, I can do a lot with that. I'm going to delete this for now. I think I'm going to add my own thing in though with the keyboard, but I'm going to do that with this virtual guitar. Turn that down more. I want this to be pretty faint in the background. All right. So now I've got a clean guitar going. And it's under there as background. So now, delete more extra tracks. I'm going to delete this drum loop, turn on the metronome, and I will be playing drums next. Right after I track the drums, put down some lyrics.
It's sort of a mystery, but not untold. Sever ties and unbind, set dust and we see.
I actually screwed up going into the second chorus, and I was like, you know what? I can just slide it back and punch in, and that's what I did. I used to do a thing where I would just sing all the way through, and I've just decided to not do that anymore. I'm just going to punch in verse and chorus. Helps me get it more consistent. It's a little less stressful because I'm like, if I screw up the second verse, big freaking deal. I'll just chop it and do it again. I got that done. I'm questioning whether I should do harmonies in the chorus. You know what? I don't want to do harmonies on this one. I'm going to leave it. So that's it. I put a song together. I do a lot of improvising, just piece things together. I follow a general outline. First chorus, maybe a pre-chorus, first chorus, usually. It's just repeat that 3 times. If I want to do, instead of a third verse, go off and do a different key bridge section, I'll do that. If I want to add a half intro chorus, sometimes I'll do that and it's just like an instrumental intro to the song. For the most part, I just follow that outline. It just helps me organize everything. What do I usually say at the end of these things? The lyrics are going to be in the bottom of the description box. I copy paste those when I start going up in range and screaming and stuff that I do. It's hard to understand me, so they're down there. The middle of my description box has where you can find me online, purchase and stream my music. I've got loads of things up. I put Bible teaching in the top of my description box, and I do that because it's really good objective teaching, and a lot of other stuff I see is really subjective teaching and way off base. This is something where they're going to translate from the original languages, go through the grammar of the original languages, and in the New Testament Greek, that's a really big thing because it's super precise, way more so than English, and someone that understands it and can translate is going to be very helpful. There's historical context, text in context, a whole bird's eye view of everything and what the writers were actually intending when they wrote the thing, and most other places I see are completely missing the meaning. So check it out. I think it's good stuff. I put it there as a resource. All right. That's it for now. Song's coming up. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.
It's sort of a mystery, but not untold. Sever ties and unbind, settle dust and we see. Oh, behold, several lives entwined. When's the moment the sleep is awake? All we feel is happening right in front of us. See past them always. Like sheep gone astray, we wander daily, looking for our void. But food in balance, let all go forward. Deep nuts pulling, it's all laid out. Not easy, severed ties and unbind.